Hello, guys. Welcome back to SWS Boxing. Delighted to be joined with Qasim Kayani. He is making his pro debut 9th of September at York Hall, Bethnal Green. Good to get you on. Take two, isn't it? But hopefully this
Yeah,
time it works.
we- we've had some technical problems, but now we're gonna get going now.
Yes. And my first question is, how did you get into boxing?
So I got into boxing at the age of like 13 or 14. My older brothers went to a summer camp. So they started boxing when I was about 13 or 14. So they must have been about maybe 15 and 17. So I never really used to take part in the sessions. I used to be watching the sessions and I wasn't really too involved. Then after watching for a while, I got quite interested. So then I started joining in myself. But whilst joining in, I wasn't ever going consistently. So, for example, I used to go to a session here, maybe take a whole year off, then come again for another couple of sessions and whatnot. So, yeah, I started at the age of 13, or maybe, yeah, 13 or 14. But I really got serious about it at the age of 17. When me and my younger cousins, Rafaq and Jamal, they started going to the sessions on a regular basis. They pushed me to go to the sessions. And yeah, that's when I really got started. And that's when I started taking this boxing thing serious.
Mm-hmm. And so have you been at all of your brother's fights?
So yeah, I've been at all of my older brother's fights. I've been at all of my younger cousin's fights. So my older brother, he's a professional boxer, Kayani. I think you might have
Yes,
interviewed him as well.
I have, yeah.
So yeah, so I've
He's
been.
fighting on the weekend.
Yeah, he said a lot of good things about you as well. I think you need to pop in and interview him again. Said yeah, he said you're upcoming. You're the next big thing. So yeah, so so I've been to all of his fights, all of his amateurs, all of his pros. I've been to all of my younger cousin's fights. Who's currently a amateur, but he's turning professional at the end of the year, and I've been to all of my other young cousins' fights to Rafaq Kiani, and my eldest brother's fight, Zoeb Kiani and Shiraz Kiani. So quite a
So
few of
it
us been
runs in the
fighting.
family.
It runs in the family. I'm from a fighting family, so we're born to fight. We're born to do this.
So of course you are signed with Goodwin Boxing, and what's it
hmm
like working with Goodwin for anyone who wants to know what's it like working with Steve Goodwin?
So you know what? Before I did sign with Goodwin, I had a look around the whole of London. I was having a look around the whole of the UK for a manager to see who to go and see who can maneuver my career to the next level and who can manage me in an appropriate manner where I have the right fights at the right times. So I had a look around all of London and whatnot, and the best possible option I could find was Goodwin. My brother used to be with Goodwin for his first five fights, and Goodwin maneuvered him perfectly. And even my coach, when I was looking at, so my coach Xavier Miller, when I was looking at other options, my coach just kept pushing me towards Goodwin, and he himself, who's been at boxing to a very high level, he trains Yusuf Kamari, he trained Dylan White. He said to me,
Do you train with
Goodwin's
the
the best.
same trainer as your brother?
Yes, yes. So we both train with the same trainer. Yeah. So Xavier Miller. So he even advised me. He's seen most managers. He's been at the highest level, and he told me he sat down with me and told me Goodwin's the best manager in the UK. So I thought, you know what, he's an experienced head. I've heard good things from my brother, so it'd be stupid not to take this opportunity and sign with someone that can possibly maneuver you to titles and take you to that next step.
hmm At the start of the year, was the goal always to turn pro for you?
So the goal was to turn pro about 2 years ago, before COVID hit. Once COVID hit, I had to slow it down. So now I'm 26. So the goal was originally to turn pro when I was 24, fighting the elites and turn pro. But because of COVID, it got delayed, and because of some personal issues, the whole process got delayed a little bit. But now there's no right time like the present. So at the moment, I believe my body is matured enough. My boxing IQ is to a point where I think I'll be ready for the pro. So it's a little later than I thought, but it's never too late to be a right time, eh?
hmm So I do imagine that you'll try and move as quick as you can and try get as many fights under your belt as you can.
100%. So of course, my first couple of fights, I'm gonna see where I'm at. I'm gonna test myself with these journeymen, and journeyman that's not a certainty. No journeyman is a certainty. So all of them are gonna come give you different issues. So my goal is to get the experience and get the working with these journeymen, and then move for titles as soon as possible. So, inshallah, God willing, take out the first couple of guys, then go straight into titles.
So of course, you've got Casey Bradnam over four
Mhm.
rounds. Well, um, on box rec, that's what it says. Is that super
Yeah,
lightweight? Is it that you're
that
boxing at?
yeah, So it should be a super lightweight, yes.
Mm-hmm. What do you know about Casey? Because I've had him on the channel before, and he says, if the opponent wants to have a tear up, he'll happily stand there and have a dust up. But he says if they just want to get the rounds in, he'll do that. So with him, I wouldn't say because he was going to be a prospect, but he couldn't sell enough tickets. So, but he
Yeah.
always likes a good fight on the road. So, be a good fight for you on your debut.
Of course, it'd be a great learner fight. I've heard a lot of good things about Casey. So when we step into the ring, I'm expecting a tough fight. I'm expecting a guy to show me his experience and whatnot and try to maneuver me around the ring. So yeah, it'd be a good experience. I've heard a lot of good things. He's had some common opponents with me from the amateurs and whatnot, and yeah, I've not really had a bad word. I've got nothing against him, but on that day we just got to get a job done, and hopefully the best man will win, and hopefully that will be me. But yeah, like you said, it's if you're not selling tickets, that's a route a lot of people take, and I give them the utmost respect because it's not easy fighting on a weekly basis or fighting on a monthly basis, but you got to be a hard man to do it. So credit to all the journeymen out there.
Mm-hmm. And of course, I know you're not looking past Casey, but how many more fights after this one this year would you try and get another one in before the end of the year?
So before the end of the year, ideally I would like two more. So I'd like to go to 3 fights by the end of the year,
So 3 and
and
0
then
by the end of the year is the goal.
three 3-0 by the end of the year to go. And before my next birthday, which is in February, I'd like to be 4-0, and then possibly move on to titles. So maybe a Southern area, an English title, and from
Oh,
then
so
as well,
do
yeah,
you want to go like maybe 2 4-rounders, then 2 6s, and then
yes, ideally. So for me, I know a lot of people go for 4 rounders for maybe 6 fights, 7 fights, or whatnot.
or
But
people,
I believe
some
that,
people like Campbell Hatton go for a certain few fights.
yeah. I think
Maybe
Campbell Hatton still does.
that's a fight for you in the future.
I'd fight Campbell Hatton tomorrow. I'll be totally honest. That doesn't seem like too much of a problem to me.
I
I think
think
Casey's a
everyone wants people see weaknesses in Hatton because you're not
mm,
the first person who I've spoke to
of,
who wants to fight Hatton. So I think
of
there's a
course, of
big
course.
long queue who wants to
That
fight.
yeah, all of them wanted to be honest, respect to him as well because he's doing something right. If a lot of people do want to fight him, and maybe a lot of people do see a lot of weaknesses in him, but I do see a lot of improvement because from what I've known, he's 10-0 now, and he keeps racking up the wins. So he's doing something right. And these journeymen ain't easy to beat, and he's getting rid of them. So yeah, but
And
if Campbell Hatton was in a
he's starting to slowly improve
get
the
better,
opponent, which is fair enough.
of course, 100%, I'll credit to him. But yeah, so you can only give him credit because at first it didn't look, it wasn't looking too great, but now he's getting the W's, getting the better opponents and whatnot. So yeah, hopefully if you want to, you can meet in the future, but it won't be a good idea for me if you do meet in the future. But the most respect to him because he is a very good fighter.
Mm-hmm. So with you, aren't you the same weight as your brother, or is he the weight above?
So he's at 147. I'm at 140. I'll go up and down in weight. So if it's an important title fight or whatnot, I'll fight at 140 because even right now when I look at the top of the 140 division, especially in the British scene, I don't see it to be too much of a problem. And that's not even me being egotistical or like big headed, but I've got a lot of belief in myself. So
So
when it
you're
comes to looking at the
boxing
one
at super lightweight, yeah?
super lightweight, yeah. For my first couple of amateur fights, it'll be around in between super lightweight and welterweight. But once I do get the title fight, it'll be super lightweight. If I can still make the weight, if I can't make the weight, I'll maneuver around 147 and 147 two and whatnot. But yeah, my brother's 147, but I never fight him because he put a whooping on me. So I don't want to mess with him.
Because
Mm.
at your weight, super lightweight, I think the title was now vacant. Dennis Jidakayev did have it, but he's now fighting for the English. So I think
Mm.
Aaron Prosper v S
Mm.
I think his name is.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes. He
okay.
signed with
Mm.
Goodwin as well. Yes, sir.
Okay. So yeah, so I'll have my eye on the on that title and
I think
maybe in a
that's in the 23rd of September, I think.
yeah. So I'll be keeping a keen eye on that, and depending on how that result go, I could maybe even try to ask for that for my next fight.
I'm
I'm playing. Maybe
I'm
my
sure I'm
may,
sure
may,
I'm sure
maybe
you
my
want that. If it gets offered to you in your second fight, I think you would just jump in it.
of course, because of
Do
course,
you
no
believe
disrespect.
you're not being big headed, but do you believe you're there already, like at the area level?
I do believe I'm already at the area level, but again, the professional game is a totally different game to the amateur game. And I'm not saying I was a great amateur, but as an
What
amateur,
was your
I was
amateur record like?
so I was like 16 wins and maybe like 6, 7 losses or something like that. But a lot of the time, my first 4 or 5 losses came in my first 6 fights. So and
How
a lot of the
hard
time I
was
do.
that to keep going?
It was hard. It was very hard, especially at one point I was saying like 2 wins, 4 losses, and then from then you push on. But it's not so much the result that affects you, it's so much the performance. So if I was putting in bad performances in those fights and losing, that'll put me down. But I was putting in performances where I believe I could possibly be winning or I possibly should be winning. So hence the reason I wasn't too down. So
You
that just
said
pushed me on to get
you boxed. Sorry to interrupt. You said
no
you
worries.
boxed people. Casey Bradnam's boxed in the amateurs. Can you say
Yeah.
who you boxed in the amateurs?
I boxed a couple, but I ain't gonna say the guys Casey Brandon for because some of them are quite good friends of mine. But I beat a common opponent. He beat him. He's about 5-0, 4-0. I beat him quite handily, and it wasn't too much of a problem. But all respect to him now. The amateur and professional games are totally different. He's doing very well for himself now, and I fought quite a few pros, but in the amateurs, but you can't really say the names as a pro because it's an unwritten rule. So the amateurs are amateurs, and you let the pros be the pros.
Would you rematch any of them if it came about though in the pros?
If if any of them offered me a fight, I'd fight them tomorrow. Like I wouldn't even need a training camp. So if any of the guys, if anyone wants to fight me, I'm game for anyone. Like it's no problem.
So what's your aspirations in the sport and how far do you believe you can go?
So you know what, my aspirations in the sport are to reach the very top, to reach the pinnacle of the sport. And I know a lot of people are here. Even a lot of people might look at me and say he's 26, whatever, blah blah blah. It's a little too late. But if I wouldn't be in this game if it wasn't to win a world title, or if it wasn't to become the very best in England and the very best in the world. And as delusional as that sounds, sometimes you got to have that belief and you got to have that self belief that you can beat anyone. Because I don't know if I've touched on this before. I don't believe I've been in the ring with anyone that's better than me. I've lost some fights, of course, but I don't believe they've been better than me. So my aspirations are to reach the top of the sport, and I've got to do that by taking out everyone. So yeah, those are my aspirations to reach the very top. And don't get me wrong, if your aspirations are Southern area or the British title or the English title, there's nothing wrong with that. That is what it is. And maybe I wouldn't even reach the Southern, or maybe I wouldn't even reach the English, even though I wholeheartedly believe I'll become a world champion. But what's written is what's written, and yeah, my aspirations are to reach the very top.
Hmm. And of course, I've been at your brother's fight before, and he does good with his tickets. So, do you believe that you'll do as good as a
Uh,
mark with the tickets?
I'll be a decent ticket seller, but Amma's a very, very good ticket seller. So for me to be close to his ticket sales, I don't think I'll be too close to his ticket sales, but I'll do enough. I'll do enough to fight and put a whooping and so on and go home. So, but my ticket sales will be okay. But
Hmm.
Amma, his ticket sales, I think he does a lot more than a lot of these pros that are on Sky Sports and boxers. So his ticket
Oh,
sales
he
are
brings the
abnormal. So
crowd, doesn't he?
he brings a crowd. Even his next one that's coming up next week, he'll be bringing the whole of Slough. So for good reason too. That boy, he's got skills, and I can bet money on him.
Do
He
you
will be.
think he'll be looking for a title soon, or?
So he should. I'll be honest. A lot of the guys with titles, they wouldn't want to fight him because I've seen him in the gym. I've seen him beat a lot of these champions up. A lot of these
I
current
saw
title holders don't want to.
him. I think it was his fight in March. I was at and June last year when he got a stoppage.
Oh, okay, yeah. So he's quality. If you can make it down to this one as well, we'll have you interviewing everyone because he's big up as well. He started saying SWS boxing, the next big thing, eh? So yeah, what's it again? Yeah, I'll be honest with Amma. I think he can go the whole way. The only person stopping Amma is Amma because he's got skills like I've never seen any other boxer at this current time in the UK fight. Like it's reminiscent of Naz, the way he throws his corkscrew, the way he throws his punches, and he's been a fighter his whole life. He's been fighting since he was a kid. So as nice as he is, he's got that dog in him as well, and he loves a fight.
Hmm. And of course, with you, you're making your debut at York Hall. I mean, some
Hmm.
people I've spoke to some of their dreams are to some people's dreams are to fight at York Hall. So, what's it like making your pro debut at York Hall in such an iconic venue?
You know what? It's an absolute privilege because it's the mecca of boxing. Muhammad Ali has fought there. I believe he fought Henry Cooper or whoever. I'm
I
not too
think
sure,
so.
but
Anthony Joshua's fought there as well.
Anthony Josh has fought there. They used to do the prize fighting series there. So
Frank
it's an
Bruno
absolute
as well. I mean, pretty
Bruno,
much
exactly.
everyone.
Eubank. So it's an absolute privilege sharing the skilled circle, not actually competing with them, but being in the same venue as play people like this. So it's an absolute privilege fighting again, having the opportunity to fight them my first fight. So so I got to long live the tradition, and I got to put on a clinical display on that night. So so I can one day we get close to their level.
How excited are you to make your debut?
I'm excited because it's been a long time coming. It's one of those things when you're a kid. I think when I was young is even when I was working part time at Tesco when I was 17, 18, used to be like stacking the shelves and you just used to black out for a second. Everything used to go black and you used to imagine just making your ring entrance. So it's been a long time coming. So it's an exciting time. So, but my job now is to put on a clinical display and put on a performance that's worthy of a lot of people coming through and supporting. So
How much are tickets
I'm
for anyone who wants to come and support you?
so from what I know, tickets will be £50 for standard tickets, and for ringside it'll be £100. So I'm not really gonna start selling tickets till my brother fights because I need him moving as many tickets as possible. Then after this fight, I'm gonna start like letting people know to come through to mine as well. But it'll be £50 for standard tickets, £100 for ringside. And come through if you want to see want to see a prospect have a war with a gang.
And it's a great show as well because Steve
Mhm.
always puts on good shows.
Of course, you got a couple of my stablemates fighting. You got Ernest, you've got Kevin Farwer, so you got a couple of my stablemates fighting too. So it'd be a nice performance. And Goodwin, he knows what he's doing. He's very professional, and he's one of the best in the game,
Also,
man.
there's three of you out your gym fighting that night.
Yes, yeah, all three of us should be fighting that night. So it should be a nice show of boxing out there. Yeah,
Well, your trainer's going to be busy, isn't he?
he's gonna be busy. So hopefully he's not too busy, and he can make our corners. So we should be all right. So hopefully we get 3 Ws, God willing, and should be a good night, eh?
And
Mhm.
before I let you go, do you want to thank anybody as always?
You know what? Firstly, other than of course the God or whatever, I want to thank you for having me on the show. You're a young guy. You're doing your thing, and you look like you're the future of the interview game as well, man. So I really do appreciate you for having me on. And if you don't mind me asking, how old are you?
14.
14. At 14, I didn't know what I was doing. At 14, I was probably coloring books or whatever. So at 14, you're interviewing professional boxers, so you should be proud of yourself.
Oh,
And
thank you, mate.
and you know what? I really I want to thank you. And I appreciate you for having me on, and I can see a lot of potential in you with what you're doing, and you really got a lot of great work going on. And I want to thank everyone else, my family, my father, my brothers, and it's time to put that work in, man. Make some noise,
Mhm.
eh?
And good luck with your fight, mate. And hopefully I can make it down to the fight.
100%. I'd appreciate that. And again, thank you. I really appreciate you for having me on. You're the future. You're the future of the interview game, man.
And any time, mate. And thank you for your time again.
No worries, my bro.
Bye, mate.
Man, cheers, man.